I am currently managing $1.3 million in funded capital. In today's video, I will tell you guys how exactly I'm managing $1.3 million in funded capital, as well as my approach to funded challenges and live accounts. I will explain to you guys the different risk parameters I use to make sure I never fail a challenge, as well as to make sure I never ever blow a single funded account. Currently funded $600k with the funded trader, $200k with true forex funds, and $200k with Nova funding. I was recently funded $700k with my forex funds, but that's now all gone due to the recent case. I made a whole video about that. If you want to check that out, it's on my channel. I currently have around $1 million in funded challenges across phase 1 and phase 2. I am soon to be funded $500k with the funded engineer, as well as $300k with my funded FX. Okay, so let's talk about risk management and how I'm managing my risk across every single account. So the way I go about risk management is very simple. I split it into 3 different risk parameters. You can go with low risk, medium risk, and high risk. So what's the main purpose of doing that? The main purpose of doing the different risks is to pretty much avoid blowing your account. So what can happen is, if you're risking 1% and your max historical drawdown it's 10%, at 1% risk per trade, that requires 10 max consecutive losses to blow the account. Personally, my max consecutive losses in one go it's 7. So if we base it on that, I can comfortably risk 1% per trade. But even then, that is not professional behavior as a trader. I am risking 0.75% as my high risk account. So I have high risk accounts on which I'm risking 0.75% per trade. And then on my medium risk accounts, I risk 0.5% per trade. And then on my low risk accounts, I risk 0.25% per trade. The goal to diversify risk is capital preservation. You don't want all your capital to be blown in one go. If you end up having your worst losing streak, you want to avoid blowing all of your capital in one go. That's literally why diversifying risk is so important. So many of you don't know how I trade and how I go about trading. So let me walk you through a little bit on my stats of how I trade. So the number one thing I make sure to do is every single trade I take, it's the highest probability trade I can possibly take. They're all A+ setups. I'm averaging 8 to 12 trades every single month. Most of you guys out there are trying to take tens of trades every day. That is not good. That is a bad idea in the long term. Try to aim for one solid trade. My risk to reward is 1R. With slippage and spreads, that rounds down to about 0.87R. My win rate is on average 65%, and my max drawdown, assuming that I'm risking 1% per trade, that would be around 7%. Another very frequently asked question is, how do I manage so many accounts? Am I using a trade copier or not? The answer to that is no, I'm not using a trade copier. That's simply because of my trading style. I don't place market orders. I'm placing limit or stop orders on the chart. So every time I don't need to execute trades instantly. So I can easily have multiple MetaTrader 4 windows open at the same time on which I can insert my numbers in and enter the trade. However, if you're managing more than 3 funded accounts and you are executing market orders, I highly recommend you use a trade copier. There's some really good ones out there. The ones I know of are Social Trader Tools and Traders Connect. The final topic of this video, it's how would I approach personal account. This is something I am fairly new to, but I have made a start on. I have currently funded my own 50k personal account. The plan going forward on the 50k personal account is risking 2% per trade. This gives me a total of 50 maximum losses before I blow the whole account, which obviously is just in technical words, right? You're not gonna have 50 losses in a row, and you most likely won't be permitted to have 50 losses due to the leverage restrictions on a regular broker. I have done the maths, and if my current results stay consistent over the next 4 to 5 years and I compound the 50k account every single month, I am on track to turning the 50k account into a 7-figure account at the end of the 4 or 5 years. We only have a couple of months left in 2023. What are my personal goals? My personal goals is consistently building my track record with DarwinX, consistently growing my funded accounts, as well as my personal account, and a target of $3 million in max funded accounts.